Hello, good day. Once again, you are welcome back. Let's take a look at this series and see how we can conveniently resolve it. I say it's a series of sum as n is moving from 3 to infinity. So here, this is a series of partial sum. We need to, actually resolve this into partial fractions. So we conveniently express 1 over 2n minus 3 into 2n minus 1 as partial fraction. So this is conveniently done here as 1 over 2n minus 3 into 2n minus 1 equals a over 2n minus 3 plus b over 2n minus 1. Okay, and for us to forge ahead, we will multiply through by the LCM. Okay, the left hand side, the denominator is 2n minus 3 into 2n minus 1. That is the LCM of the fraction. So we multiply through by the LCM. So if that is done, this becomes 2n minus 3 into 2n minus 1 times 1 over 2n minus 3 into 2n minus 1 equals 2n minus 3 into 2n minus 1 times a over 2n minus 3 plus 2n minus 3 into 2n minus 1 times b into 2n minus 1. Okay, if that is done, the left hand side here, 2n minus 3 into 2n minus 1, we divide 2n minus 3 into 2n minus 1, and the left hand side becomes 1. Here, similarly, 2n minus 3 into 2n minus 1, multiply a over 2n minus 3, it becomes a into 2n minus 1 plus. Okay, similarly, 2n minus 3 times 2n minus 1 multiply b over 2n minus 1 becomes b into 2n minus 3. And this is labeled as equation 1. Okay, then for us to obtain the value of a, the next is for us to obtain the value of a and b respectively. To obtain the value of a, we group this term here, a into 2n minus 1, we assume is equal to 0. In that case, n is equal to half. So then we have to put n is equal to half into equation 1 here. Okay, and if that is done, become 1 is equal to a into, in place of n we put 2, this becomes 2 times half minus 1 close bracket plus b into 2 times half minus 3 close bracket. Here 2 divide 2 and we'll be left with 1 minus 1 is equals to 0. 0 times a, that is equals to 0. So here 2 in 2 is 1. So 1 minus 1, 1 minus 3, that gives negative 2. Okay, so in B, it becomes, this is 1 is equals to minus 2b. So that the value of b is equals to minus half. This is done by dividing both sides by minus 2. Now let's look at the other term there. The term containing b into 2n minus 3 is equals to 0. We assume it is equals to 0 so that we can obtain the value of a. Okay, so there n is equals to 3 over 2. Okay, then we put n is equals to 3 over 2 into into equation 1. I'll substitute it here into equation 1 so that it becomes 1 is equals to a open bracket 2 times, in place of n we substitute 3 over 2 times, so 2 times 3 over 2 minus 1 close bracket plus b open bracket 2 times, in place of n we substitute 3 over 2 minus 3. So here 2 divide 2 and we are left with 3 minus 1 and that gives 2. Okay, here on part of b, 2 divide 2 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3, so 3 minus 3 is 0. So 0 times b, it means that b is completely off. So what is left here is 2a. So left hand side is equal to 1. So 1 is equal to 2a, so that a is equal to half by dividing both sides by half. Okay, we substitute this into the right hand side of this expression. Okay, and this becomes half over 2n minus 3 plus minus half over 2n minus 1. So if you know 2 is a certain factor here, is common factor, so we factor half at this become half into 1 over 2n minus 3. The minus here times plus here become minus 1 over 2n minus 1. Okay, we substitute this in our sum to infinity. So because this half is a constant, we'll bring it back here. It's become n moving from 3 to infinity, open bracket 1 over 2 n minus 3 minus 1 over 2 n minus 1. Here our work begins. Okay, now let's look at the case when n is equal to 3. Let's see what the series becomes. So here become 2 times 3 is 6. 6 minus 3 is 3. So here we can see it here. When n is 3, this becomes 2 times 3 is 6. 6 minus 1 is 5. So when n is 3, the term of the series is 1 over 3 minus 1 over 5. Now let's look at the situation when n is equals 4. So 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 3 is 5. You can see it here. Here 2 times 4 here is 8. 8 minus 1 is 7. So when n is 4, the term of the series is 1 over 5 minus 1 over 7. Okay, let's look at the situation when n is equal to 5. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. Then 2 times 5 is 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. The series become 1 over 7 minus 1 over 9. Now, if one thing is observable here, you see that the series we're having minus, plus, having similar value here. So you can see that for n is 3 is 6, 1 over 3 minus 1 over 5. For n is 4 plus 1 over 5 minus 1 over 7. When n is 5 is 1 over 7 minus 1 over 9. So even if n is going to be 6, the series there will be 1 over 9 minus 1 over 11. So the series, apart from 1 over 3, the other series, they are disappearing. Okay, so we'll be left with 1 over 2, which is the constant outside, multiply the only series that is left there, which is 1 over 3. So that the sum of the series become 1 over 6. So 1 over 2 times 1 over 3 become 1 over 6. Therefore, the sum of this series is equal to 1 over 6. Once a series of this nature is given, all you need to do is to express the series here as partial fractions. Once that is done, everything becomes over. Have a nice time. Please help me subscribe to my YouTube channel so that when similar video like this comes, you'll be able to have access to them. See you in my next workshop.